R&B music is in a state of emergency. It's your man J-Rod here, and I don't know if y'all know it, but R&B is in a very, very scary place right now. For the first time in R&B history, they don't have a lead guy to take them into the future. This generation doesn't have a king. In the 1960s, they had two kings. They had Sam Cooke, one of the greatest voices ever. The 1960s had the Jackson 5, James Brown, Stevie Wonder, and Otis Redding. Otis Redding, one of the greatest voices ever, died very young. And then the 70s came, and Marvin Gaye was the king. He had What's Going On, Sexual Healing. Marvin Gaye, one of the greatest voices ever. Then the 80s came along, and Luther Vandross was the man. Okay, I know some people might say I'll Be Sure, El DeBarge, or Keith Sweat, all good, but nah, Luther was the man. Never too much, never too much. And stop playing. In the 90s, y'all know who the king was. R. Kelly. He dropped the R in 12 Play, and he wrote You Are Not Alone for Michael Jackson. He wrote I'm Your Angel for Celine Dion. This man wrote I Believe I Can Fly, one of the greatest musical recordings ever. R. Kelly was the 90s. Then in the 2000s, Usher was the king. He dropped 8701. Then he dropped Confessions. That sold over 1 million records in the first week. And then in the 2010s, we had a new king named Chris Brown, and he dropped more hits than anybody. But now, 3 years deep into the 2020s, who's the new king? And there's a lot of things that factor into this. With all this gender war going on, nobody wants to be in love. Nobody's being romantic anymore. R&B is in a very scary place. No new kings are emerging. With all this men being mad at women and women being mad at men, the music is really suffering. And it got me thinking.